Mom life. Waiting to pick up my kid from school, sneaking french fries and chocolate milkshakes because I'm super healthy. Before I pick her up, I'm gonna hide all of this in the trunk so she doesn't know that I had any. What's up, guys? It's Meg. Welcome back to Meg After Dark. Today we are reviewing 2 episodes, The Walking Dead Season 8 finale and The Fear the Walking Dead Season 4 premiere. Depending on how long these reviews are, I might be doing 2 separate videos for them. But what did you guys think of the episode? So let me know. I found it and I couldn't find a word for it until I went and I read my comments, and Blonde PT, you're one of my longtime viewers, she comments all the time, and she used the word underwhelming. And I thought that is the perfect word for it, because I didn't hate the episode. I loved the episode for the most part, but I felt like at the end, like it was missing something, or that it went too quick, too clean. And then she used the word underwhelming, and I thought, that is it. I didn't hate the episode, I just felt underwhelmed about the whole thing. Is that the proper use of underwhelming? Can I say underwhelmed too? There was just so much hype behind it. You guys, they have been hyping this Sunday, Survivor Sunday crossover event. Like, they played it in the fucking movie theaters. Like, honestly, it was a big fucking deal. Super hyped for the longest time. And that was exactly how I felt when it was over. Actually, when the whole thing was over, was that I felt very underwhelmed about the whole thing. It was so hyped, and I was like, okay, well, that was too easy. You know, and there wasn't, like I said, there wasn't anything I particularly hated about it. I didn't hate anything. I really enjoyed the episode and enjoyed everything that was in it. It just felt too easy, I think. And everything happened so quickly, so there was no like real tension. You know, I wasn't really like worried for anyone. I was worried for Gabriel, and that was it. And that, again, that ended very quickly. But there wasn't like, if you guys have read the comics, which at this point, I'm not going to say anything for the future, so we've hit a point in the comics where I can talk about, now that All Out War is over, I can talk about what happens in All Out War, and I'm not going to go into all the little details, but it was much more dramatic and worrisome, and you were like super fearful for like Rick even, and just a lot more happened at the end there, and it was like, it felt so satisfying when you read the comics. Like it was very satisfying at the end, when Rick like slashed Negan's throat, and even when he decided to keep Negan alive. I was obviously like, back when I read the comics, I was slightly like upset about that. Now I'm fine with it, obviously, because I like the Negan character on the television show. But basically what I'm saying is, in the comics, like the All Out War ending was very satisfying to me. And I didn't really feel that in the actual episode. So that was a little bit disappointing for me. Moving along. Oh, and just to say that we've had a few seasons of build-up for the end of All Out War, and they've been amping us up, saying like, I mean, basically this is gonna be the ultimate Sunday crossover. Like, again, I'm just repeating myself over and over again, but I just felt like it wasn't as satisfying, and mainly just the tension and the worry is there. I'm so used to like, oh my god, who's gonna die? Not that I really want anyone to die, I just would have appreciated a little bit more like of me being fearful for them. Like, everything just came so easy. Okay, so let's talk about the biggest thing. Hold on. I need a milkshake break. You guys, I am feeling so much better today. I have been sick since Thursday. I had a sore throat at work, and it didn't seem that bad. And then Thursday, Friday, it didn't really feel bad. It was just like, oh, I have like a little cold. And then Saturday, I was like, this is not a little cold. And then, but it still wasn't like, Saturday evening, I should say. Saturday morning, I felt fine, and afternoon, and then the evening hit, and I was like, all night, Saturday night, I was up, like, you know when you have that anxious sleep where you like are dreaming the same repetitive dream over and over again. And I usually have that like when I have a fever, but a lot of times I'm so in the fever and you're in the middle of the night that I don't realize that that's what it is, so I don't get up and like take medicine. And then Sunday I woke up like, oh my God, I'm fucking dying. That's what it felt like. And it was all I could do to get myself out of bed and like put makeup on, get dressed, like, so that I could appear normal in the reaction video last night. But I tell you what, I woke up this morning and I felt so much better. Better enough to eat french fries. Okay, let's talk about Eugene here. Because I know all you Eugene lovers out there are not gonna like what I have to say. Okay, they have felt, and crap, I forgot your username. Maybe I should look it up real fast just so I can give you credit for this. But hang on, I'm gonna, just because I want to give this person credit. Okay, Zephilia, this is who I thought it was. Zephilia S, that's your username on YouTube, said, I think what made this episode feel so off was that they vilified Eugene way too much throughout the season, to the point where fans had written him off and wanted him dead because we were so angry with him. And then the major turning point in the war was him saving the day. Okay, that was like, yes, okay? We have spent so much time hating Eugene, and I have given him so many chances, okay? And he did one good thing, letting the doctor and Gabriel go, okay? But he has been fucking awful. And in this episode, okay? So everybody's like, oh, Eugene saved the day. Like, I knew he was gonna pull through for us. He didn't even know he was gonna pull through for us, okay? Let's get that clear. Because he did not even plan to fuck up the guns until the idea came to him when he saw Gabriel do it, which he admits to in the episode, if you're listening carefully enough, that when he saw Eugene do it, then he was like, maybe I should do that. Whatever. I don't know what switched in his mind, but he was very firmly, for a while there, on Negan's side. And it's not so much that he like believed in Negan or anything like that, but Eugene is one of those people, he's almost like Gregory, only a hell of a lot smarter, where he is going to look out for himself first, regardless of any friends he might have made, regardless of like how many times Rosita has helped him. Like, he's gonna do what's best for him because he's a coward, and he's openly admitted to being a coward. So I lost my train of thought there. I was going somewhere with that statement and then it slipped away because I'm getting so angry. I guess my point in this whole thing is that I don't think he was planning this entire time to thwart Negan. I don't think he was waiting for an opportunity, because there had been opportunities. I honestly, like, at the last minute, whatever, I think Gabriel, honestly, like, and I think that's what Gabriel realized in the very end of the episode when we see him being like, thank you, Lord, like, I see it now. Like, basically he sees what his purpose was. And also I think he suddenly was able to see clearly. I don't know, but it looked like it. But if it hadn't been for him, Eugene wouldn't have done the bullets, fucked up the bullets. So there's that. So in the episode, Eugene causes all of the guns to, he messes with the ammunition so that all the guns misfire. Is that the right word? Backfire, misfire. I think that's the right word. So all the guns misfire. And he also gave Negan the plan to line everyone up, basically, so that in one fell swoop, he's gonna take out most of the saviors. Because if they had gone a different way, you know, it had like the front line and then people bringing up the rear, like the people in the front line would have misfired their guns, and then everyone else would have had warning, basically, that the ammunition is faulty. So he did good there, you know, he was able to plant the seed in Negan's head that this is the way they should go, because he had proven his loyalty to Negan. Negan trusted him, which was great. Like, I'm not saying what Eugene did wasn't great. Obviously, he saved the day. He did. Give him credit for that. But I still like what Zephilia, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, said was that they spent so much time vilifying him and making us hate him. Even up until the previous episode where he threw up all over Rosita. And he clearly like went back, you know, went back to the saviors. That it's hard for me to suddenly be grateful that he did what he did. Basically, you know, they've made him this villain, and all of a sudden we're supposed to suddenly like him because he does one thing right. And that was upsetting to me, I guess, because I would have appreciated more of a hint or something like that he wasn't so fucking awful. Because even in this episode leading up to that, I was like, can you die now, please? You guys ever like get that sudden pit in your stomach that you're filming and then your camera's not recording? I just had that happen. For some reason I looked at the camera for a second and I didn't see the recording button. Almost just had a heart attack. Okay, I'm not going in order with this review. I'm just telling you guys points that I want to make here. I want to talk about Aaron really quickly. He shows up with Oceanside, saves the day. We knew this was going to happen. It was very obvious that that was going to be how that storyline went down. It was great. It was too quick. Again, I wanted to see more of them. And the hilltop, they weren't necessarily like in danger at that point. They'd evacuated their people. Yes, baby Gracie was crying. So Tara was very brave. I loved that moment where she was like, I'm gonna, you know, it's my duty. I've got to protect these people. I've got to protect the baby. Like, you know, she was gonna be there alone and trying to fight off alone all of the saviors that had come to the hilltop. So I really liked that about her. You know, she was very selfless in that moment, and it was great. I liked how the I still can't remember his name. Didn't somebody tell me it was like Alton or something? Anyways, the savior turned good guy. That the future Dante, I think that's where that's going. I'm just gonna start calling him Dante from now on because I can never remember his name. Anyways, he stays to help. He gets some of his guys to help. It was a really good moment. And then Aaron comes in at the last minute, saves the day with the Oceanside girls. That was great. I wish we could have seen more of them, or like a more of a like closure to that, I guess. Like basically we saw them do some like, I don't know, bomb things. I don't know what that was. Some explosions to kind of take out those saviors. I just wish there'd been like a little bit more. We'd actually gotten to speak to Aaron or something like that, or Enid would have gotten to see him, you know, something really good like that. I still liked it. It was very predictable that he was gonna show up anyways. Jesus with Morgan. So I just thought it was kind of odd that like Morgan has been so like in clear mode, kill zone, like kill everyone. He's been seeing dead ghosts, like he's so far gone. He almost killed Henry at the beginning of this episode, and then Jesus like tells him maybe you should use the blunt end of your stuff for people and the sharp end for walkers. And then all of a sudden Morgan's had this like epiphany, like yeah, you're right, and he's suddenly not killing anymore. It was very like, I mean, I don't know, I feel like everything Jesus said, like Carol had probably said to him at one point too. It was just a very sudden turn. And I understand why they did it, because they needed him to not be in clear mode, not be the killer Morgan when he goes over to Fear. But it did kind of feel very sudden. Like they're going into war. Morgan tells Rick, like, we need to end this. And Morgan did say, to his credit, he did say to Rick, like, basically what they did was wrong, or what Rick did was wrong. Like, he promised to save the guys and then killed them. So he acknowledged that. He knew that was wrong, which I appreciate. I wish Rick would have acknowledged that. But it was just a very sudden change, I felt like, for Morgan. Even with Jesus only talking to him, like, one time, and then you go into battle and he's suddenly not killing saviors. He's hitting them over the back of the head and knocking them out. So, I don't know. It was just felt very quick. Like, oh, I'm done with Morgan Clear. I'm normal again. Like, I don't kill anymore. I don't know. I don't know. It was too easy again. So back to the guns misfiring. I loved the scene right afterwards where the guns misfire. Negan's like looking at his hand, and Gabriel takes that moment, because Gabriel thought he was just about to die. Gabriel takes that moment and turns around and just punches Negan right in the face. Like, he goes for it. And then Negan kind of hits him in the gut with Lucille, so he's down. And Dwight, hands still tied, comes up and just starts trying to beat on Negan. Like, they're all so determined that in that moment I didn't even feel bad for Negan. And you guys know, like, I really like his character, but I didn't even feel bad for him. I was like, yeah, you guys, like, he was just gonna kill Gabriel. Sorry, you can get beat up. But I really enjoyed that moment. And then he's, you know, he's running off. Rick is, obviously there's some scenes in between here, but Rick gives chase. Rick is out of ammunition. So they come head to head behind the tree and they're kind of fighting it out, but not even really, like, they're both wounded. So they're not even really giving it like they're all at this point. I think, like, Rick in that moment, it's just so funny because he knows, I think, that Negan does have the upper hand. Because was he shot? I actually did not see Rick get shot, but he clearly had something, like, wrong with his side, so I'm assuming he did get shot. Tell me if I'm wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened, because all of a sudden he had a wound in his side, and I did not see how he got that. But they come head to head, and you know, they kind of were like wrestling around. Rick is able to kick Negan, I think, but Rick realizes, as Negan is saying, like, Negan has the upper hand. He still has Lucille, and even though he's injured, like, he's standing up, Rick's laying down, that kind of thing. Well, Rick asks for 10 seconds to explain Carl's way, and I wondered in that moment if Rick was really, like, waiting for a minute to see if Negan was gonna agree, or if he planned that as a distraction the whole time. We know that he had the piece of stained glass, like, in his hand, but I wondered, it seemed like he hesitated for a minute, you know, and he started to say it, and then Negan looked to the point, like, he actually looked like he was gonna cry. He looked like he was in tears, and I don't know if that's because his hand hurt really bad or what, or if he was actually feeling sorry about Carl. But that moment where Rick just, like, slits his throat and you don't even know what's happened at first because he does it so fast. He's like a striking snake, just like whoop. That was in the comics, so I was hoping for that scene, expecting it, but not expecting it, like, in that moment. I did find that it was very shocking because I thought that Rick was actually gonna try and explain something, and then it seemed like he was just using that as a distraction to get the upper hand. So he slits Negan's throat, and I wonder how many of you out there who have not read the comics actually thought Negan was gonna die in that moment. I remember reading it in the comics and I was like, how did he get his throat slashed and then he still lived? Seeing it on the screen, it wasn't a very deep, like, laceration, and so I guess I can see how he could still be saved. But how many of you actually thought in that moment were like, yes, he's gonna die finally, and then only to be like Maggie and be angry that he didn't actually die? Let me know in the comments, because I'm really interested to see how many people thought that, or were hoping for that. I knew that he wasn't gonna die, basically, from the comics, and we just, like, I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan on the show. I think he adds so much to the show as Negan, and I am excited to see future comic storylines with Negan come to life on the show when the show comes back in season 9. I think it's gonna be great. I'm excited for it. But I can definitely understand how a lot of people who have hated Negan this entire time were really hoping that he would die. And honestly, I felt so bad for Maggie. I really did. It just broke my heart for her, seeing, like, that. It was heart-wrenching. I mean, can you imagine being in her shoes? Like, I don't blame Maggie one bit. I don't. Her husband died in a brutal way right in front of her by someone who appeared to enjoy it. I mean, Glenn's death was brutal. So was Abe's, but Glenn was her husband. And so in that moment, you see that, like, look on her face, like, it's gonna make me cry. The look on her face where she's, like, looking to see, you know, at Negan, to see, like, is he really dead? Like, she wants to see it. She wants to see him die, I think. And when Rick turns around and says, save him, she is, excuse me. Oh, oh, it started itching. She is so angry. And I honestly, I don't blame her for that anger. I feel like if I was in her shoes, I would be the exact same way. And so when we see Maggie at the hilltop in her office with Jesus, with Daryl in the background, who we don't realize is there at first. Of course she doesn't agree with Rick. Of course she's gonna want to kill Negan at any opportunity that she can get. And she's worried that somehow Rick keeping Negan alive, Negan will get the upper hand again. Will get out, will escape, like she just wants to be ready for it. And so I didn't really take the hilltop meeting as something very bad, to be honest with you. Like, she's angry with Rick, and I don't think she trusts that he can make proper decisions anymore based on the decision to keep Negan alive. She just can't see it. And I don't know that Jesus so much is on board with it. We didn't hear him, like, I don't think we heard him agree. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, we're gonna go after him. But Maggie is like right-hand man there. You know, he believes in Maggie. And I think he's gonna be there to help her get through this. And I think that he probably would support her, to be honest, knowing what she's been through. Daryl, on the other hand, who is always been Rick's right-hand man, is now at the hilltop, and he's ready. Like, I don't really love where Daryl's character is going. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could definitely see how he would disagree with Rick, because obviously, like, he was mentally tortured there under Negan, and he knows how awful Negan is. So, you know, of course, these people who experienced it firsthand, like, they can't see the bigger picture there that Rick is trying to see. And so they're not going to necessarily agree with it. I feel like the episode was trying to make it appear that there's going to be more conflict in the future with Maggie going against Rick. But honestly, I think there's going to be a huge time jump when season 9 comes back. And so you know, has Maggie been biding her time in that time jump? Probably, but I don't think she's going to outright, like, start a war with Rick. You know what I mean? I think it's just kind of a, you know, if Negan gets out, I'll kill him. If I find an opportunity to kill him, I will. But I don't think she's going to outright be like, the hilltop is going to fight Rick. I just don't see that. Let me know what your thoughts, though, on that are in the comments. Let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about real quick. Oh, Daryl and Dwight. Okay, real quick. Daryl drives Dwight out into the woods and lets him go. We think for a moment that he's going to kill him. He doesn't. He sends him off with keys and a truck and basically says, you know, go make it right. Go find Sherry. And Dwight drives off and tries to go find Sherry, I guess. That's his new mission. But Daryl says to him, don't come back here or I will kill you. And I don't like that because, again, it still implies, like, after everything that Dwight has done to make amends and to save them, he's still fucking holding a grudge. And he didn't even really know Denise. That's the thing. Like, it's not like him and Denise were best friends or lovers or anything. Like, it's so weird to me that I mean, I guess Dwight was also responsible for the mental torture that he endured, but honestly, like, it could have been so much worse for Daryl that after everything that Dwight has done to, like, make up for that since, it's annoying to me that Daryl's still like, if you ever come back, I'm gonna kill ya. It's like, okay, well, he's gonna come back. We know he's gonna come back eventually, right? I would be pissed if Dwight never came back. And a couple people have told me, and there were clues in there about the Whispers, potentially. Comic spoiler, or that's not really a comic spoiler, it's just a future storyline, the Whispers. First clue was that huge walker herd that was, like, the biggest thing we've seen in a really long time. There. So, first clue on the Whispers. And then Ray, one of my very long-time friend viewers on Facebook, sent me a message saying that the infinity sign in the note from Sherry to Dwight, mind you, was that a new note? That hadn't been there this whole time, right? She came back and left him a new note, right? I feel like she did. And all it said was honeymoon and an infinity sign, you know? And then he sent me a picture showing Alpha's belt is like an infinity sign, but it's like, what is it, like a dragon or something? It sort of looks like a dragon, but it's an infinity sign as well. And so now there's like, is Sherry gonna be Alpha? Which I would fucking hate so much. So I am hoping very strongly that that is not where this is going. That would really piss me off, to be honest. And what, is Dwight gonna be like Beta or something? That was so dumb. It's so dumb I can't even like imagine it. So no, I don't really believe that. But I know that a lot of people have been saying that, so, or have been like saying that there were hints to the whispers in this episode, so we'll see. Carol goes back to the kingdom with Ezekiel. They're all helping, like Tara and everybody, they're helping the former saviors rebuild, which I thought was great. They're basically bringing them into the fold, working together, and all is well with the world. In the end, Rick writes his own letter to Carl, which I should say the beginning of the episode when he's walking with baby Carl on the road, and he's still wearing that blue like flannel shirt, which is like the same one. Not really, but they're trying like so hard to make it look like Carl with the blue flannel shirt and the cowboy hat, or the sheriff's hat. I thought that, and then the ending was just really cheesy. I don't know. I was trying to get on board with it and I was having a hard time. But it ends. All is well with the world. Morgan goes and brings Jadis, Jadis aka Anne, tells her she can go live at the Alexandria or with a group, wherever, and he stays there. And I was so hoping, which I'm going to talk about this in my fear, but I was so hoping that we were going to get more closure on the junkyard and what it was and the helicopter. And at the end of the episode, we didn't get anything. So, season 8 Walking Dead finale, it was good. It wasn't amazing. I'm very interested to see what the future holds for season 9. But I'm ready to get into fear. So let me know what you thought of this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part in the comments? And I will see you with my next video for Fear the Walking Dead season 4 premiere. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.